Hey guys, Brittany Belanger here from The Smart Bride. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is so exciting. First off, I have to commend Windsor on launching their first podcast network. I think this is absolutely great. They have some great shows lined up. I've actually met with a couple of the other hosts from the other shows, and we've kind of bounced off ideas and we've kind of discussed where we're kind of taking it, or sorry, what direction we're going with the show. And I'm super excited. I'm excited to see what they have in store for you guys. So if you haven't checked out the other shows, I highly recommend checking them out. They're all local, so I think it's super fun and I think it's exactly what the community needs. So I think now I should probably get into where I fall in the wedding industry. And I actually own Bella Bridal, which is located here right in Windsor. And lucky for me, I get to build a very strong relationship with my brides. I generally meet the bride in the beginning of her planning. So, I mean, generally you're going to book your venue and you may pick up a photographer, a videographer, you may have a couple things planned, but ideally, picking your wedding gown is definitely one of the beginning stages of your planning. So I'm able to see the bride kind of come in and she's excited. She's just started her wedding planning. The stress hasn't fully hit yet. And then again, I get to see her at the end, kind of when the wedding is approaching. And that's when she's coming in for her alterations a month to 2 months prior to the wedding date, and sometimes just picking up her dress, 1 to 2 days prior to the actual wedding. And, the conversations that I get to have with these brides sometimes I'm appalled at what they're telling me, the stress that they're going through, how much money they've spent, some of the issues that they've come into play with. And really the idea behind this show, ladies, and even if your fiance's watching, or your dad, or if there's guys, sorry if I'm offending you guys by saying ladies, but there's a lot to planning a wedding, okay? First thing first, it's far from cheap. I've actually looked into what the typical wedding cost in Windsor, okay? And that's about $30,000. So for an average wedding, you are estimated to spend about 30 grand, okay? And that's for about 130 guests. So it's not cheap, okay? There's lots of mistakes that can be made, and not just so much on the bride's end. You know, Vendors are going to make mistakes. I mean, have I seen a venue double book a party? 100%. Have I seen a limousine company send an excursion instead of an excursion limo to pick up the bride? Yes. So I kind of hear it all. And I think what my idea behind this show is properly educating the bride so that there's less mistakes made, and you're a little bit more educated kind of in your planning. So one, ideally, I'm hoping that I can save you some money. Whether we're looking at doing projects that you can do on your own to save you some cost, or me kind of pointing you in the right direction. Let's take the wedding shows, for instance. If you're not familiar with the wedding shows, and that's one thing that is huge in the city of Windsor, are the wedding shows, is getting you to those shows and really allowing you to kind of see what the competition out there, see what's available to you when you are planning the wedding. And now that I am on the topic of a wedding show, there's actually 4 of them here in Windsor, okay? So 2 of which are at the Chicharo and 2 of which are at the Capoto. So they host 2, there's 2 in January, 1 at both Capoto and Chicharo. And then in April, there's 1 at Chicharo. And then in September, which is coming up now, there's 1 at Capoto. So if you have not been to a wedding show, and you still have lots of planning to do, or even just a little bit of planning, check it out. It's $10, $15 to go. And basically what it is they set up the Capoto, Chicharo, and it's all wedding related vendors they set up. So you've got everyone from photographers to videographers to bakeries to venues to bridal salons, decorators. So going into this wedding show, you're going to meet everybody. Okay, you're going to see what's in, what's not in. There's always a professional there to kind of discuss pricing with you. Sometimes they give you promo pricing if you do book at the show. I know a lot of people discuss and they want to know what the availability is like. Because traditionally, when you are planning a wedding, again, most people are going to book the venue first. So once you book that venue and you lock in that date, everything falls around that date. So if you want a certain photographer but they're not available the date of the date that you've chosen, you've got to move on and choose another photographer. So that's why people start their planning so far in advance. And I'm talking about engagements usually 9 months, 1 year, 2 years. That's not unheard of. So these are the things that you should be considering. And the list does not end there, guys. You may be wanting to lose 20 pounds prior to your wedding date. So how are we going to do that? You may be wanting to go get your lip injections prior to your wedding date. When is a good time for that? Who do you go to? I'm going, possibly bring in brides who've been through this and can kind of relate to you guys. Personally, myself, I've never been married, but I do get to see a lot of brides get married and do the whole planning process. And I'm really intact with the whole bridal industry. I mean, I have connections and, with venues. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say other bridal salons, but I do know the other owners. Whether you're looking to get your teeth whitened, which, speaking of, if you are looking to get your teeth whitened, Cabana Dental at 300 Cabana Road is actually running a promo right now. So if you call in and you use the promo code The Smart Bride, up until the end of September, you will get $99 off your teeth whitening service. So again, guys, I told you I am here to save you money. So there you go. You've got one chance right there. And it doesn't end there. There's going to be so much to this show, and I really just encourage you guys to keep tuning in. I am going to be putting something in place where I am going to be dealing with a lot of questions, answering those questions for you. I kind of want to feel out what you guys want to know. What is there a need for? I have a general idea, just hearing from my brides kind of what's missing. And I see it all the time. And I'll give you a prime example. Actually, over the weekend, it was Friday, I had 2 girls come into my store, I would say early 20s. One from out of town and one was here locally. Now, her fiance actually lives in the States. So her and her fiance cannot decide where they even want to begin to get married. He wants to get married at a midway point, and she wants to do destination. So even those little things, being able to sit down with your significant other and really making a decision, and it doesn't even end there. I mean, you are going to have so many opinions within your wedding planning. I mean, you're going to have his mom, you're going to have your mom, you're going to have your sister, you're going to have your best friends, your dad may even get involved, right? So, and then you're also going to have your fiance. So, again, guys, I'm going to keep preaching it. There is a lot to planning a wedding, and a lot of my brides do not really get it until they start the planning. So, I'm here to kind of just help you through the process, make things a little bit easier, guide you through everything, hopefully really get engaged with you guys, answer all of your questions. And if I don't know the answer, I promise you I will find it. I will get it for you guys. So if I've got to go out and approach a professional and get that proper answer from somebody who is a professional in that industry or whatever you're looking for, I'll get that for you. So the next thing I want to discuss with you guys are 2 other resources that are available in Windsor, okay? And they are 2 bridal magazines. They're both local. Best of all, They're free, okay? You can find both copies of the magazine at my store. I've got tons of them. These are huge. One, they're free, okay? And when planning a wedding, if anything is free, all I've got to say, get your hands on it, because there's not a lot of things that are going to come free when planning a wedding. So the first one, they kind of have two different approaches, to be honest with you. So the wedding guide here, they've got a website, and this is Windsor, Essex, theweddingguide.ca. And basically what this book is kind of geared around is exactly the title of the book. It's a guide, okay? So if you flip, actually, if you've got a copy of the book, if not, when you do get a copy, if you flip to page 24, the wedding guide, okay? So this here is actually kind of just a little timetable. If you see here on this side, okay, guys, there's a timetable of kind of when you should be planning everything. And I'll give you an example. 8 to 16 months. So you're going to announce you're going to announce the engagement. You're going to develop a budget. You're going to buy the engagement rings. You're going to set the wedding date, select a gown, choose a ceremony site. The list just goes on. And then you've got a 4 to 8 month mark. And then you've got a 2 to 4 month mark. Then you've got a 1 to 2 month mark. Then you've got a 2 week mark. Then a 1 to 2 week mark. I mean, there is so much. And let me tell you, towards the end, that's when it gets stressful, okay? Because that's the tedious stuff. Let me tell you what you're going to do at the end here. Okay, sign the marriage license. Okay, so this is the day before wedding day. Hold on, let's do 1 to 2 weeks. So final gown fitting, pick up the groom's wedding band, final guest, so your seating chart, you know, pack for your honeymoon. There's so much to think of. Like this list, if you can see this, this is a long, long list, okay, guys? And there could be more. This is just a guide. So, again, there's vendors in here. There's tons of stuff. They've kind of go through, they go a little bit more into detail. You're going to find that, you know, they'll talk about when's a good time to have a wedding, you know, what you're going to expect when you're having a wedding, let's say in March, April. I mean, you might come into play with a little bit more rain. So typically, are you going to have an outdoor wedding in May or April? Probably not, because, you know, here in Southern Ontario, we expect a little bit more rain. So just little things to think about. Now, this magazine here, Bridal Confidential, guys, this one is honestly my favorite. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. So this magazine here, okay, is actually a London right through to Windsor, Essex based magazine. So this book is just filled with vendors from London to Windsor, all wedding related. So this book here, or sorry, not book, but they actually run a contest. So in order to sign up, it's completely free. You go to www.bridalconfidential.com. Okay. And what they do is they choose 3 winners each year. And the prize is phenomenal, guys. You have the chance to win an all-inclusive trip for 2. They choose the location. I usually find that they do, you know, like they'll do Mexico, Caribbean, that sort of nature, but all-inclusive. And with that being said, how you win is every single time you purchase from a vendor within this catalog, you earn points. And what I really like what they did with this is it's not meant for the person spending $100,000 on a wedding to win. They've made it really fair. And how they've done that is if you come into my store and you buy, let's say you come in and you buy a $10,000 dress. And not that I have any $10,000 dresses, but if I did and you came in and bought a $10,000 dress and I had another bride come in and she bought a $500 gown, you guys would get the same amount of points. Same thing as if you had 500 people coming to your wedding and you had 50 people coming and you book a venue, you're going to get the same amount of points. So it's, again, guys, it's not geared to somebody who's spending more money, that's going to win. That's not where they wanted to go with this. They wanted to make it very fair. And basically, when you win, it doesn't end there. You do get the all-inclusive trip for two. And again, they pick 3 winners. So the winners, how they choose the winners is they pick a winner from the London St. Thomas area, one from Sarnia Chatham area, and then one from Windsor Essex. So that's kind of where we fall into play. And guys, every vendor in here is local. So whether you're getting married in Chatham or you're getting married in London, because I know those are very, when you're getting married, your fiance could be from Chatham. So it still kind of falls into play with what we're getting at here. And like I said, it doesn't end there. The winners also win a photo shoot. Okay, so if you see here, these 3 brides are last year's winners. So you can see here, win a trip for 2. These brides actually got, they all went out one day. They do lunch or dinner, I'm not quite sure. But they do a photo shoot. So they go up to a bridal salon, they choose a wedding gown, not the wedding gown per se that they're going to be wearing the day of, but they get fitted for a wedding gown, they get their hair, makeup done, and basically they go and do a photo shoot. And then I believe that they are given a secondary photo shoot with their fiance as well. Again, they'll both get dressed up. The groom gets fitted as well, and everyone gets all dolled up for the day. They send you in a limo, and it doesn't end there. So if you don't even win first place, they still grant you the ability to win. I know there's a second place winner, third place. I think it goes right up to 10. So this is huge, guys. It's local. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Again, if you need a copy, I have both copies within my store. Okay, if you're not familiar where my store is located, I'm located at 5862 Wyandotte Street East. I'm right near Jefferson. And shoot, what else was I going to say with this? I had a little brain fart there. Oh, I want to let you guys know that I am in the magazine. So, and you can go right here. I don't even know if... Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So I'm in here. I have tons of clients who have participated, and believe it or not, I've actually had one client who has won second place. She was like this close to winning first place. So I know it's real, and I think it's awesome. I think it's great. So definitely check that out if you haven't. Check out the wedding shows. They're huge. I will be not posting, but I will be setting up an account on both Instagram and Facebook. I want to hear your questions and concerns. So next episode, I will list both my Smart Bride Instagram and Facebook page. That way, if you do have any questions, you can get in touch with me there. If the question absolutely cannot wait and you want to answer it on my next episode, feel free to follow my business page at Bella Bridal Windsor, both Facebook and Instagram. Send me a direct message and I will get back to you. And again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was very exciting. I was a little bit nervous today, but looking forward to the next show, and I'm looking forward to hearing from all you guys. Take care.